Everyone, it's Natch here doing another review for games and how getting 100% by completing the trophy list can help your mental fitness. Please keep in mind everything here is just my opinion, based on my own life experience. There are some professional studies that would suggest I'm on the right track, but for now, I'm here to just spread the word and help people look at gaming as more than just entertainment. So with that, let's jump right in. Today I'm going over Tribes of Midgard, Tribes for short, developed by Northfell, released in 2021. Tribes is both a single-player and multiplayer game, and an internet connection will be required to complete it. Before playing, I had no idea what Tribes was, but after watching the trailer, I was definitely looking forward to playing it. Having not completed the game, I have to say I did in fact really enjoy it, so kudos to Northfell for all the hard work that they put into making such an enjoyable game. Okay, so before we get into the fun stuff, some of you might be asking, is this appropriate for kids to play? In short, probably, but let's take an organic look at it anyways. The ESRB rating for Tribes is teen for violence. Yes, that's in here, but I actually say it's fine for preteen, 9 and older. This is only because I feel the game mechanics are a bit too complicated for anyone younger to fully appreciate and comprehend effectively. Without ruining the story, the game is based on Nordic mythology, where your character, a Viking, must save the world or realm in this instance. Sure, again, there is violence, as there is violence in Legos or Super Mario games, but just like those, there's no blood here in Tribes. Enemies just simply vanish. I'd actually argue Tribes is more child-friendly than Legos, but it appears that because the graphics are more detailed, that somehow qualifies as a harsher rating by ESRB, which is very inconsistent, and I just disagree with and think it's a disservice to the industry and consumers alike. But again, I would say the game is more than just button mashing the same 2-3 moves, so yeah, 9 and older seems more reasonable. Alright, so you may be also wondering just how long this game will take to get 100%. Well, to be honest, a lot of that will depend on the skill set of the player. For me, I expected Tribes would take me between 22 and 42 hours to get 100%. When factoring AFK, which is away from keyboard sessions, I came in at that range. Some factors that can affect your completion time is really just the multiplayer required trophies, which is really there's just one, and it is possible to boost it with a friend. Besides that, the trophy list is pretty standard for the most part, and if you like to see the guides I use, they will be in the video description below. Okay, so now to the fun stuff. As you know, the whole point of my channel is to help educate and promote gaming for mental fitness. I truly believe you can improve so many mental abilities by earning 100% in a game, rather than only just playing the game for fun. For me, Tribes mostly improved critical thinking after some reflection and thinking about it. I say that because I found myself working different strategies to maximize time efficiency with the grinding trophies that required just a lot more interaction than I thought. And that became more critical as bosses to help grind out those trophies became harder to defeat. So it obviously became more important to really focus on all aspects of the game to be able to defeat them rather than just kind of coasting through with just the skill set that I had. Currently, the hardest trophy in the game is Make It Hail, which requires you to spend 1,000,000 souls in Midgard. Souls are a type of currency/ingredient at the same time. You can use them to purchase items, replenish life, and upgrade non-playable characters and workstations. There is a legit workaround to speed this trophy up very quickly. In fact, because of that, for me, New Inherhar, which I probably butchered, that's a different trophy which requires you to reach the last season level, which is level 50 in this instance, was actually in fact the hardest trophy for me to earn. Similar to Make It Hail, but in this instance, season level is separate from your character level. Think of season levels as your cumulative level experience across all games each time you play. At this point in time, there really isn't a way to make this go faster other than grinding it out. which again, it took longer than I thought. So, I wouldn't say it was actually very difficult. It was just very time consuming. And before we call it a wrap here, let's talk a bit about improvements. When I think about trophies that would have reflected tribes and have been helpful for mental fitness, I would have liked to see a deathless run incorporated, at least in the Saga game type mode. And in this game, there's 2 game type modes. There's Saga, which is kind of like a short playthrough, and then there is Survival, which is like an endless enjoy the game playthrough. I think having a deathless run trophy would have really required players to focus more on the strengths and weaknesses for certain bosses, as well as preparation with gear and items, which means you have to become more familiar with the game in more detail, again, rather than just focusing on skill set. Here I found myself not caring too much for really any of that and just focused on all my offensive skill to get me through the game. I also think having certain trophies tied to solo Saga mode would have been helpful in the same regard. But also, I say that in the sense to include working with NPCs, and just requiring maybe different kind of achievements with doing certain tasks related to here and there. Basically, again, so players become more immersed with the game mechanics and what the developers spent so much time trying to do, rather than just kind of rushing through. That's just something for, again, Northfeld to think about for future installments or series that they make. Okay, that's a wrap. Again, I really enjoyed Tribes of Midgard. I would recommend those 9 and older play it for mental fitness. For me, Tribes really helped me build critical thinking. And if you have any questions about the game or mental fitness, or just want to share your experience with Tribes, feel free to leave a comment or message me. I will do my best to answer any questions in a reasonable time. Alright everyone, that's another review in the bag. If you want to watch me play live and even join in on my multiplayer games, follow me on Twitch. If you'd like to hear more about my game previews and initial impressions, then go on over and follow my Instagram. I also do polls on X for games I'm playing. And finally, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.